Hi everyone, so I was just composing the message that you're reading right now, and I thought I would do a quick tutorial on how to make the Canvas class state adjustment if you want to do this. And I'm saying right now if you want to do this because things are very fluid and there's a chance that some of this actually will take place at the end of the week. I know there's a meeting scheduled with a bunch of folks from Instruction Office as well as IT, and I believe that a colleague fix on the term dates could actually probably do this for most of your classes. As I note on my email message, if you have an irregular term class, a 6-week class, a class that starts, say, in October or later, I'm not sure what the decision is. I believe, don't quote me on this, I believe that all classes will be moved up regardless by 1 week. That's what I heard yesterday, but I don't want you to think that and make a bunch of changes if the official word hasn't come out of instruction. So maybe just wait on that if possible, particularly if your class starts later past September 20, we'll get some direction and you don't have to do that right at this moment. So again, what I'm showing you now, you could do if you like. It's pretty easy. You could also go ahead and wait and see if the integration happens via our colleague back system. I went in per Treva's suggestions and looked at the global settings under my admin privileges and actually did change the date of the term to the correct new dates, but I noticed in my class today it wasn't switched, and Treva then suggested that there's an integration issue that happens via IT that we don't have control over inside of Canvas. So again, you could wait on this if you want. So there are two places to do this, and if you get Treva's messages at the start of every term, you know that this message always goes out, and there's always just some challenge for all of us to remember to do this if need be. So this is what we're talking about here. You're going to see the start and the end date. And looking at my calendar just now, let me pull it out actually. So we know that classes start on the 20th. Now my personal opinion on this is if students have, because of the chaos of the Caldor fire and also the chaos continuing of COVID-19 and its impact on all of us and our students, for me personally, because I'm going to have my class ready, I don't mind if students want to log on a little early and have access to things. If you want to start this though on September 20th, you could click. I always get a little confused by the 12 a.m. versus p.m., so you could also think about that time, just remembering when 12 a.m. is. But if you don't care about that so much, keep in mind if your class, like mine, is still unpublished, as we see at the top here, then students won't have access to a class that you haven't published. The concern would be if you hit published, let's say, and you didn't have the class built out, and students started to trickle in around the 15th through the 18th, and again our term starts on the 20th, there could be some confusion. So what I'm probably going to do, I'm still finishing up some of my videos and lectures, is I'll probably have it open, on the 15th or something like that. Now the end date, keep in mind the old end date, just pull up my calendar here. The old end date was finals week went through the end of the 10th. So you see that. Now we're pushing everything up a week. So presumably then that's going to mean it goes through the 17th if we set that ahead by 1 week. And I was just going to say, if you get confused by the 12 a.m., you could always change that to p.m. or something like that. So I'm just going to try to remember these. September 15th at 12 a.m. and then I copied the other one. So you have to go to a second place to set this, and now you see that the update will have taken place. Okay, so now I can go to my next tab is sections and click on this. I'm going to blur out some names at the bottom here. Click on your section, and then you're going to scroll to the right hand side, hit edit section from the menu, and I will go ahead and change this. Okay, and then I just am going to copy that other end date here. You always have to hit update section, okay? Once you do that, you should know if the change happened at the top. And I'm going to navigate away from this. Let me go back to my settings and see if it does the update, the correct update. I'm going to go back and check course details. That looks correct. Let me go back to sections, click on my section again, and it indeed changed it. So you see that change. So it just took a second after I hit edit section on the top and update section. I had to navigate away so you could click back on your home button, go back to settings, and check in those two places as far as your course details menu and then also your sections menu. And then you should see the new updated version. Again, this could all change through Colleague and the updates that happen. And so if that does take place, you could, maybe decide to wait on this or wait until Friday. My concern right now isn't so much the end date, because obviously we'll get this fixed before the current end date of all our classes, which is December 10th. My concern would be if you have an earlier start date, such as the 13th, and you hit publish on your class up here, and students are interacting with an empty class. I personally see no problem, and I reached out to Jeff and Michelle. They didn't have a problem with students having early access to a class. In my opinion, they need all the support they can get right now. So many of them are impacted by work situations, by the fire, by COVID, moving out of the area, having to find a rental in these crazy times if they live locally. So I'm definitely open to myself and my class giving them all the opportunities to take advantage of looking at the class early, getting a sense of what's going on. The other thing to think about is with textbooks. I switched this class over to all open source, and so they can use it online, which is great. But if you do have a book that's required, just with all the chaos that is still going on and the situation with mailing of books, if they order them online, it's another thing maybe to think about an early opportunity to tell your students what the course text is, and if they have to purchase one, they get a little more lead time because of all these changes that have happened here with the fall term. So I just wanted to give you this very brief overview of how to adjust those dates in case you want to do that prior to global changes that we're still working on through the IT department. So I'll be back with more videos. Please reach out if you have any questions about this.